Hello friends, in this video tutorial we are going to learn Facebook style load more data on page scroll in Codeigniter framework using Ajax with jQuery. If you have used any social media site like Facebook or YouTube, then when you have go on this site page, then you can see first blank data has been loaded, and after some time it has display data in text or image or video form. After this, when have you scroll page, then it has again display blank data, and after some time it has display data on web page. This things has been done on every page scroll. So this type of infinite scroll pagination we will make in Codeigniter framework using Ajax. So if you have used Codeigniter framework for web development and you want to add this infinite scroll pagination in your web application, then this video will helpful to you. Now let's start discussing this topic. So this is our testing database, and in this we have one post table with 4 table column like ID, post title, post description, and author. We have already inserted around 100 records in this table. We will fetch data from this table on every page scroll and make infinite scroll pagination. This is our Codeigniter application folder, and here first we have to make database connection. So we have go to application folder, and in this we have go to config folder and open database.php file. Here we have fill database credential like host name set to localhost, username set to root, password set to blank, and database name set to testing. After making database connection in Codeigniter, we want to set base URL of this Codeigniter application. So here we have open config.php file, and here we have defined base URL of our Codeigniter application. We all know Codeigniter is a MVC framework. So for any small feature we have to make 3 file like model, view, and controller. So here also we have create scroll pagination in controller folder, scroll pagination model.php in model, and scroll pagination.php in view folder. First we have go to controller folder and open scroll pagination.php file, and here we have write function index. So when in browser we have write base URL / scroll pagination, then it will call this index function. Under this function we have write $this with loader class object load with view method, and under this we have write scroll pagination view file. This code will load this view file in browser when this function has been called. Now we have go to view folder and open scroll pagination.php, this our HTML output file, and in this file we have already imported Bootstrap library and jQuery library. For get data load effect like Facebook and YouTube social media site, here we have used the CSS. Here we have used the style sheet for get data load effect on web page. Now we have moved to write HTML code, and here first we have defined one division tag with attribute ID is equal load data. Under this tag we will display post data which we will fetch from database. Below this we have defined one more division tag with attribute load data message. Under this tag we will load more data effect like Facebook or YouTube. Now we have moved to write jQuery code. Here first we have write variable limit is equal to 7. This variable value we will use to fetch 7 data on single select query. Then after we have write variable start is equal to 0, we will use value of this variable to define starting pointer of the fetching data. Below this we have defined one more variable action is equal to inactive. This variable value will be active if fetching of data request is running, otherwise this variable value will be inactive. Now we have make one function with name like lazy loader with argument limit variable. This function will create effect like Facebook or YouTube load data before loading of data. Under this function we have write for loop with variable count is equal to 0, count variable value less than limit variable and count variable value increment by 1. Under this loop we have write output variable, and in this variable we have append HTML code like division tag with class is equal to post data. Below this we have again write output variable, and in this variable we have append HTML like span tag with class is equal to content placeholder. This code will create blank title effect on web page. Same way we have again write output variable, and in this we have append HTML code like span tag with class is equal to content placeholder. This code will create blank post description effect on web page. After this we have write $ with division tag with ID is equal to load data message with HTML method, and under this we have write output variable. This code will fill this tag with HTML code of this output variable and create load blank data effect on web page. Now here we have called this function, so when page has been loaded into browser then this function will be called and it will create load blank data effect on web page. So friends, here we have first write our Codeigniter application base URL, and after this we have write scroll pagination controller name. So here we can see load data effect on web page. Now we want to load data on web page. So we have go to scroll pagination view file, and here we have defined one function load data function with two argument like limit and start. This function display data on web page by using Ajax request without refresh of web page. Under this function we have defined Ajax request, and in this we have write first option URL set to fetch method of scroll pagination controller. We have send request to URL. In second option we have write method option set to post. Here we have use post method for send data to server. In this third option we have write data option, and in this we can define which data we have sent to server. Here we have write limit and start variable data which we want send to server. In fourth option we have write cache option, and we have set to false. This option will not cache operation data on browser. In last option we have write success callback function. This function has been called if request has been completed successfully, and it will fetch data from server. Under this function we have write if statement, and under condition we have write data variable value is equal to blank. If this condition true, that means this function has not received any data from server. Under this condition we have write $ with division tag ID load data message with HTML method, and under this we have write HTML code with message like no more result found. This message will be display if there is no data in database. After this we have write action variable is equal to active. Here we have change value of this variable because there is no more data and we do not want to send more request to server for fetch data because there is no data on server for display. But suppose data variable value is not equal to blank, then it will execute else block of code, and under this block we have write $with division tag with append method, and under this we have write data variable. It will add HTML code under this division tag. After this we want to clear pre-data load effect. So we have write $with division tag ID load data message with HTML method with blank value. This code will remove all HTML code from this tag. That means pre-data load effect will be removed after data load. Under this block we want to change action variable value to inactive. That means user action has been completed. So our function is ready. This function will fetch data from table and display on web page. Now we want to load this function when page has been loaded. So we have write if statement, and under condition we have write action variable value is equal to inactive. This condition will check if value of this variable is equal to inactive, then it will execute if block of code. Under this block first we want to change action variable value change to active, so we have write action variable is equal to active, so in this block we have changed this variable value to active. After this we want to call this function, so we have write load data function with two argument like limit variable and start variable. This function will load first 7 data from table and display on web page. Now we have moved to write PHP code, so we have go to Scoll pagination controller, and here we have write function fetch. This method will receive our Ajax request for fetch data. Under this method we have write $this with load object with model method, and under this we have write Scoll pagination model. This method will load all method of Scoll pagination model. Now we have go to Scoll pagination model, and here we have write fetch data function with two argument like $limit variable and $start variable. Under this function we have write $this with database object with select method. This method will make select query. Below this we have write $this with database object with from method, and under this we have write post table name. It will make query like select star from post table. After this we have write $this with database object with order by method with two argument like ID and descending order. This method will make query like select start from post table order by ID in descending order. Then after we have write $this with database object with limit method with two argument like $limit variable and $start variable. Now we have write $query variable is equal to $this with database object with get method. This method will execute query store result under $query variable. Lastly we have write return statement with $query variable. This is an output of this function. Now we have go to Scoll pagination controller, and here we have write $data variable is equal to $this with Scoll pagination model with fetch data method with two argument like limit variable and start variable get from Ajax request. After this we have write if statement, and under condition we have write $data variable with number rows method greater than 0. This method will return number of rows and that rows greater than 0, then it will execute if block of code. Under this block we have write for each loop with condition like $data variable with result method as $row variable. Here result method will return array of object which we can access from this $row variable. Under this loop we have write $output variable, and in this variable we have append HTML code like division tag with class is equal to post data. Under this first here we have write $row variable with object post title table column. It will display post title under this tag. Same way below we have write paragraph tag, and between this we have write $row variable with post description object. It will display post description. Lastly we have write echo statement with $output variable. It will send this data to Ajax request and it will append on web page when page has been scroll. Friends, here first we have refresh web page and now preload effect has come, and then after we can see records on web page from post table. Now we want to load more data on web page when page has been load from posts table. So we have go to scroll pagination view file, and here we have go to Jquery Code, and here we have write $with window as selector with scroll method with function. When we have scroll page then this code will execute. Under this block we have write if statement, and under condition we have write $with window with scroll top method plus $window selector with height method greater than $with division tag id load data with height method, and action variable value is equal to inactive. This condition first get value from scroll top method and it will add that value window, and second height method return height of division tag with id load data. If height of first will greater then it will execute if block. And it will also check if action variable value is equal to inactive, then also it will execute if block of code. If you have not write this condition then it will fire action 2 times. Under this first we have called lazy loader function for data load effect like Facebook or YouTube. Under this block first we have write action variable is equal to active. Here we have first change value of action variable value inactive to active. After this we have write start variable is equal to limit variable plus start. Here we have increased the start variable value to 7. Now we want to call load data function in some time interval, so we have write set timeout method with function, and under this function we have write load data function with 2 argument like limit and start argument, and lastly we have write 1000. So here we have use set timeout method, and so it will call load data function after 1 seconds of waiting of time. After 1 seconds it will call this function and it will fetch next 7 data from table and display on web page without refreshing of page. So friends, here first we have refresh of web page, and after this we have scroll the page. After scroll of page here we can see preload blank data on web page like Facebook or YouTube, and after some time it has been load next 7 data. So these way we have continuous scroll the page until last data. When all data has been fetched from table then last it display no result found message has been display on web page. This type of feature has been used most of the social media site like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and many more. It has been load data on web page without refresh of the page. This is infinite scroll pagination, which fetch data from MySQL table and display on web page on page scroll event in Codeigniter framework using jQuery Ajax. If you have any query or input regarding this video tutorial, please comment your query or input in comment box, or if you like this video tutorial, please share with your friends, or even you can also share on social media also. If you want to get more update regarding our video tutorial, please subscribe our YouTube channel for get more update regarding release of future video. Lastly, keep watching our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching this video tutorial.